Ranking The Walking Dead antagonists based on their chances of surviving Dexter. Let's go. Here we have the tier list. In the bottom here we have gone in one episode, which means that this character will be gone in one episode. Next up here we have side plot, which means that this character would only last a couple of episodes, maybe like 5. Next up here we have would last 1 season, self-explanatory. 10% chance of survival, also self-explanatory. And here in the top we have would 100% survive. And yeah, I'm curious to see whether or not I put anybody up here. I haven't really, decided yet, so that will be interesting. So for this scenario, to make it simple, everything will take place in the Walking Dead world, so Dexter will be living, in the Walking Dead. And before we move on, I want to say a big thank you to Super Yoshi Bros 1 for the idea of today's video. Very, very good idea. I appreciate it. If you have any other ideas, then yeah, just let me know in the comments. We're starting off here with... Wait a minute. Who is that? Who is that? Okay, it's Shane. We're starting off with Shane. So this one is actually a little bit tricky because Shane is an ex-cop. He's, very strong. He knows how to handle guns. He can fight. But he's very emotional, and I think Dexter could take advantage of that. He would be pretty easily manipulated. So for that reason, I'm gonna say... But he's very strong and all that stuff, so he will not be in one episode, but I think a side plot. I mean, he was kind of a side plot for Rick Grimes, and I think I think it would be the same for Dexter. So yeah, we're putting Shane here in side plot. Here we have the Governor, the GOAT, my favorite Walking Dead character. He's strong, he's smart, he can, he knows how to handle a gun. He have a pretty good shot. For Rick Grimes and his group, it took 2 seasons to get rid of him. But Dexter, Dexter is a little bit... He is built different, Dexter, okay? So this... I think the Governor would last 1 season. So I feel like the main villains that Dexter had in his own TV show, they were, pretty much on the same level as the Governor, I would say. So for that reason, I must say in 1 season, okay? The Governor is the GOAT, but, Dexter is Dexter. So now we have the leader of Terminus, Gareth. I'd say this guy would be gone in 1 episode, pretty much. I mean... it was a side plot in The Walking Dead for Rick Grimes' group. So, for Dexter, he could probably do it in 1 episode. So how would Dexter do this? Well, Dexter, he knows when someone is a killer. But yeah, basically everyone is a killer in The Walking Dead. But he knows when someone have, a real darkness inside of them. He can almost spot that instantly. So he would do, as soon as he, enter the Terminus group, he would recognize the dark passenger of Gareth, and he would immediately be on his edge. And I think he would not be aggressive like Rick's group and pull out guns and that stuff, but I think he would, manipulate him in some sort of way, get him alone, and then, it would be game over for Gareth. So Gareth gone in 1 episode. Next up here we have Officer Dawn. Also, this goes in 1 episode. So I don't really think I need to explain this one because it's so obvious. But, they weren't so experienced with people putting up a fight. You could tell when they were in the hospital. So yeah, I think this would be easy. Game over. Negative diff. Next up here we have Gregory, the second GOAT of The Walking Dead. I mean, this one would 100... No, I'm just kidding. I mean, this guy is gone in 1 episode as well. I mean, come on. Okay, he was... I mean, Dexter could probably, take him out in like 5 minutes, okay? You just have to go to his, office and do the thing, and you wouldn't even have to hide from the Hilltop group, because I think the Hilltop group would, applaud him if he killed Gregory. So yeah, that's that. Next up we have Jadis, and I'm gonna go and choose Jadis from CRM because because it's fun. We're taking every one of these when they are in their prime. Okay, she's a very skilled fighter, and she had like a military training. It would be very hard to get to her as well because of her being in the CRM. So Dexter would have to do it when she is alone. Maybe he would even stalk her while she stalks Rick. And she also got a really beautiful haircut as well, so that will give her some plus points. I'm actually gonna say... she have a 10% chance of surviving Dexter, okay? This may shock many of you, but as I said, she's a very, very skilled fighter. And yeah, I mean, she's a very good stalker as well. We just saw that in, you know, Rick and Michonne show. Next up here we have Simon. This guy was a real menace. He was insane, okay? Very, very scary. I'd even say he was a little bit scarier than Negan, okay? But he wasn't as powerful as Negan, but he was a little bit more scary, in my opinion. Does that help when it comes to surviving Dexter? No, because Dexter is not afraid of anything, okay? Dexter is the man. I'm gonna put him in... I'm gonna put him in side plot, okay? So the way I think that Dexter would take care of Simon is that he would, you know, join the savior group, and then he would take advantage of the fact that Simon wants to become the leader, and he would, you know, get close to him somehow, and then he would get him alone, and, you know, then it's game over. So yeah, that's that with Simon. Next up here we have Negan. This would be extremely hard since he's guarded like 24/7 by all his savior buddies. So this one I'm actually gonna put in 10% chance of survival, okay? I'm gonna put him in the top of 10% of survival, okay? You know, him alone, you know, he wouldn't stand a chance against Dexter. However, he is surrounded, like I said, with guards like pretty much all the time. So that would be very hard. So how would this 10% chance of survival play out? Well, I think the only chance he has is if, you know, Dexter becomes a part of a group, like Rick Grimes' group, and then, you know, they are all forced to their knees, and then they just like straight up execute somebody, and, you know, it happens to be Dexter. So that's, I think that is like the only chance Negan have against Dexter, I think, because, you know, you know, I mean, Dexter have taken on many celebrities with bodyguards in the original show. You know, Jordan Chase was maybe the only celebrity. Yeah, Kurt also was kind of a celebrity, but I mean, he doesn't have any trouble getting to people with many bodyguards. That's my point. So yeah, that's my thing about Negan. That was a very long talk. So next up here we have Alpha, and she hits her, you know, daughter, and you know, Dexter here have a, you know, a he really likes children, so I think he would prioritize getting rid of Alpha. And you know, just calling yourself Alpha, okay? I mean, Dexter would definitely prioritize killing her, and I think he could do it fairly quick. I mean, Negan got her alone and could kill her pretty fast, so, you know, I think Dexter could do the same. Hopefully not in the same way though, because that would be awful, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna put her in first place in side plot. Next up here we have Beta, and imagine calling yourself Beta, man, that's just such a Beta move, okay? I'm gonna put him here in side plot as well. Beta is very strong, tall, all that stuff. He's surrounded by walkers all the time, but, you know, little Chino, he was also very big and strong, and he was no match for Dexter. So I think I'm thinking a side plot on him, just like, you know, Chino. Okay, I think there will be quite a lot of people not agreeing with me on this one, but yeah, what can I say? Next up here we have Pope, aka freaking Travis from A Wish, without schizophrenia. Okay, where should we put him? I mean, he also is kind of surrounded by a group. He is very evil, all that stuff. He really fits in to the Dexter antagonist. What am I saying? Okay, let me just rank this guy. Okay, I'm just put the ranking in the bag, bro. Okay, I'm gonna put him in one episode. I mean, this guy is just okay. Let me put him in the top of one episode at least. In the top of one episode. So he's gone in one episode. So I don't think he lasted that long in, you know, The Walking Dead. I think he lasted like 5 episodes or something. I hope I'm right. So for that reason, you know, I think Dexter could take him in one. Now my light died again. Let me just turn that on. Next up here we have Lance Hornsby, and I really liked this antagonist actually. I know many of you didn't like him because he was like a cheaper version of, you know, he was almost like a combined version of the Governor and Better Call Saul. and that's a little bit silly, but yeah, I think I liked him. I'm gonna say he would last one season because of, you know, he's surrounded by many people. He have like literal he have freaking stormtroopers surrounding him like all the time. That would be pretty hard, but you know, not impossible for Dexter. So next up here we have Pamela, the leader of the Commonwealth. I mean, I think she would also, you know, would last one season, okay? I mean, she's very powerful, like much like Lance Hornsby here. She, you know, is surrounded by guards pretty much all the time. She's very powerful. But you know, so here's the finished tier list, and as you can see, I didn't put a single one here in the top tier. And yeah, that's because, yeah, nobody would have a 100% chance of surviving Dexter on this list. Yeah, so I think this is a pretty solid list actually, but I know many people who are watching this will not agree with me, so please let me know your ranking of these guys in the comments. I'd love to hear that. So yeah, if you like this type of content and want to see me do more Dexter or Walking Dead or any other TV show related tier list videos or like theory videos or anything like that, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.